Another stock that is in the radar is RIL. This morning, RIL stock, let's pull up that graphics once again, down this morning?
So Reliance was down marginally this morning, but the stock has since recovered and it is trading about flattish currently.
Okay.
Now Reliance Industries has been in the news for the last couple of days. Earlier we heard about QIA, which is Qatar Investment Authority, investing about $1 billion in the retail arm of the group, which gives Reliance Retail a valuation of $100 billion. Another news that was making in the rounds was that Reliance Retail is also looking to monetize its logistics and warehousing assets through an InvIT of about 3,800 crores.
Okay.
Now RIL is said to have entered into an understanding where it will jointly manage 3 properties across India and the UK with Oberoi hotels. So the stock has been making headlines, but the stock is actually under pressure. What explains the selling in RIL stock, Avinash, if you could enlighten us?
I think, you see, in the short term, I think it's very difficult to quantify. But as you rightly mentioned, I think the forthcoming Reliance AGM is now going to be a key trigger for the stock in the near term. Market expects that some announcements could come on the retail venture. Now, since the Jio Financial business has been demerged, it's been separately listed. I think the next trigger point for Reliance would be the value monetization of the Reliance retail business. And I think now this 1% stake, which has been sold, clearly indicates the kind of valuation kind of angle for the retail business. My sense is that any commentary or any comment by the top management on the Reliance retail, monetization kind of, theory going forward would definitely mean a significant amount of re-rating for Reliance. Our sense is the oil and gas business would continue to generate steady kind of, cash flows and profit. But the real trigger for Reliance would come in from Jio Financial Services, the telecom business, and the retail business. So I think it's better to wait for the Reliance AGM, but I think a lot of fireworks could come in if possibly some announcements on these entities are made, specifically on the retail venture, which I think is now getting ready for monetization, at least over the next, say, 12 to 15 months.
Now, Avinash, since we are talking about Reliance Industries, we also need to, I think we should talk about Jio Financial Services as well. The stock is down about 5% in the lower circuit for the 5th consecutive session, trading about 202 odd levels. What's the bottom for the stock? When will this sell-off end?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to quantify this, but one logical reason for this is that index-based funds, the stock is out of the index. So I think you're going to see a lot of selling continue till the time this index-based fund selling does not end. See, we have been telling our clients that fair value could be around 185, 195 odd levels. And I think looking at the longer term trajectory of this business, Jio Financial is something which is going to create a massive disruption in the financial services space. Already they have tied up with BlackRock for the asset management business. And I think you're going to see a lot of disruption in the other financial verticals like wealth management, broking. So, it's only a matter of time. So I think, somebody who wants to take a longer term call should not bother about the value, because if the balance sheet size of almost 1,60,000 crores, it's going to be one of the large, NBFC players in India. And I think Reliance is known for disruption. It is known for price undercutting to grab market share. So I think over the next, say, 1 to 2 years, I think you could see a lot of value getting unlocked. But yes, in the near term, these kind of things would continue till the stock stabilizes.
In fact, if you track Jio Financial Services stock this morning, it's down about 0.5% to 0.6%, so it's trading in the range.
10-15,
so at
there
about
was a sharp rebound.
10-12 to 10-15, there seems to be some sort of rebound there, Avinash, as far as Jio Financial Services is concerned. On the 5th day since we've been reporting stock hitting lower circuit every day.
So now 202 seems to be a short-term support for the stock?
So in fact, see, I think I was reading a report saying that even LIC has accumulated shares of Jio Financial. So, obviously big hands have come in the counter. It's a matter of time. See, I think once the stock stabilizes, I think clearly the markets would start looking at the kind of the narratives and the kind of opportunity for growth. Because, see, I think the NBFC business is going to be scaled up significantly. Reliance is not going to be a number 2 or number 3 in this business. They would definitely aim to become number 1 over the near, medium to long term. So I think you're going to see a lot of news flows, and I think the bigger trigger for this stock will come when the company starts talking to analysts. They have their conference calls. So that is a time when you're going to see a lot of institutional interest and retail interest in the stock.
And how is Jio Financial Services, at least in terms of valuation, since we don't have clarity about much clarity about its business model, in terms of valuation, how is it stacking up against its rivals like Bajaj Finance?
I think my guess is, I think whatever data points we have till now and whatever research reports we have read, I think very clearly the markets are looking at the fact that a 1,60,000 crore balance sheet itself is a very big kind of a, growth driver for the company. Maybe in the very near term, it's very difficult to quantify at what kind of price to book it trades. But, today a Bajaj Finance trades at almost 5 to 6 times, a Poonawalla Finance trades at almost 4.5 times price to book. So I think looking at the pedigree of the company, looking at the balance sheet size, I would not be surprised that once more data points come in, we could see similar valuation kind of multiples for a stock like Jio Financial. So I think a fair value could be about 250 to 275, at least in the very near term. But I think more data points are needed to actually give a precise kind of validation and a logic for the kind of upgrade. So I think it's better to wait and watch for at least a couple of quarters. The stock has got listed. I think you're going to see quarterly numbers, commentaries from the managements. So that itself is going to play a very big role in ensuring that then obviously earnings and valuation multiples would get discounted.